Hey everybody, it's Liz at Northern Bell Farms. You hear that? It's the song of their people. It's feeding time. And this week I have my friend Stephanie from Jones Creek Farm in Midway. She's coming over. She's going to bring me a bunny. She's going to bring me a brown bunny so I can swap the genetic line so that I don't have, brother and sister bunnies. But she's going to bring me a bunny so that I can have our gray bunny and our brown bunny have babies. And then, of course, we'll raise those out here in the bunny, well, we've been calling it the bunny coop, the bunny hutch. But we'll raise them up here. The plan is to eventually do meat rabbits. I have been selling them as pets to anyone who wants them, but they will grow up, they will grow out, so here's where they'll be kept. Right now there we go, here's a perfect example. Right now they're too small, and they're still able to squeeze in between the wires. So I've tried to, like this guy, he's been acting a little excited about being in a pen. So I've tried to separate him with cardboard. They've knocked it over. I'm going to have to put chicken wire on the inside, but I really just wanted them to get big enough so they can stop squeezing in between the fencing. But it's not going to happen. I'm going to have to take the time and put the chicken wire, as we did over here with the side, halfway up because this wire was just too big. So this is our meat rabbit pen, or holding bay for pet rabbits. I had put what I thought was boys down here. I think this guy's a boy, but he was getting picked on by the other ones, so I'm unsure. This one's a girl, and she belongs over here with this other what I think's a girl. Stephanie's gonna come over later. She's been raising meat rabbits for a long time, so I look to her for advice. So I section them how I think they are, and she's gonna come over and tell me, good job, you know how to sex a rabbit, or this is all wrong, you need to relearn what you're thinking. So let's go ahead and feed the animals, and then we'll go up front and figure out what I gotta do for the day. haven't had a duck egg in weeks, since before Thanksgiving. I really want duck eggs. Ducks lay about 200-ish eggs a year, depending on the breed. Usually it can be anywhere from like 200 to 270 or 80. We have a bunch of different kinds of breeds for that specific fact. Same with our chickens, is some are for looks, some are for eggs. We have the, don't quote me, Cayuga duck, the black ducks. They lay actually an ash gray egg. It's really pretty. We have a couple, I think they're the Appleyard ducks, but I'm not quite sure because we've had them for a few years. But we get, every now and then we get bluish colored eggs. As with the blue egg chickens, now that they're older, it's become lighter and it's a little more closer to white, so it's harder to realize. That also happens with chickens. When they get older, their shell kind of like dulls, but the first few eggs, if they're that color, are gorgeous. Like if they're green eggs, they're vibrant green. If they're blue eggs, they're like a soft, pretty blue. Okay, here is, well, almost got this whole corner. This is all going to be beets. There is about 140 holes in each of those. So we're going to have close to 600 beets, hopefully. Beets are my favorite. I hope to can a lot and be able to have enough to share with everyone. These are the varieties that we're planting. I've planted the golden ones at the top. Now, these are one of my favorites. I also had some white ones that we planted that I've never had before, but I'm sure they'll be just as good as the golden ones. The golden ones are for people who say, I don't like beets. Because they don't have that earthy beet taste. I love it. My kids and my husband, well, a couple of my kids and my husband does not like that taste. So he really enjoys the golden beets. Also, when we roast them and you let the sugars come to the surface and caramelize, kind of like when you roast potatoes, they like them like that because they become really sweet. But they also still aren't a fan of the darker colored beets. So the lighter colored beets are the ones they like. So I encourage you that if you don't like beets, or if you have a family member who doesn't like beets, to try and grow either a white or a golden variety, because I bet you they'll like them. And especially if you drizzle them with olive oil, crack a little salt over, and roast them in the oven at 350 for half an hour or so. Poke them with a fork depending on the size that you cut the cubes into to see if they're done. But they are really good that way. So these are the varieties we're going to plant still. These make beautiful beets. We grew them last year and I loved having them cut up in like a salad, or if you shave them, so that you can see those ringlets. As I said before, these ones will taste more beety than these ones, but they still will have that beet ground earthy richness to them that I love. But I'm going to do this row with this, and then this, another row right here. I got to put the rest of the plastic down with this. Then, as usual, I need to buy more plastic, because I got to put some here. I'm going to plant a Swiss chard here. I have to find something temporary, probably Tatso. That's going to go back here. It's quick. It's about a 55-day crop. And it likes it cold, not hot. So I have to do it now. Zone 5, 6, or possibly 7. Get ready to plant this one and try it. It's like a sweeter spinach. It's delicious, and I would definitely try Tatso. You can probably plant it in March or April because of your temperatures. It can take a light frost, but not a heavy frost. So probably March or April for most of you. Further up, further back in the calendar, further on. I don't know what is going on. If anyone knows what's going on with my cauliflower, it's like, I don't know, it turned orange. I know right now it's a little mushy because of the rain, but it was never closed like you would think. Like this one, it's white and closed, usually like it should be. These ones were more open, and the heads turned orange. I did plant orange varieties, but I do not think that's what these were, because but the heads are very small, and I wasn't expecting like grocery store huge, but I was expecting a little bit bigger than, you know, my thumb. So if anyone knows, it's really hard for me to do brassicas down here. Up north it's easier. Just cover them with a frost cover and go on about your day. They seem to grow better. But here it seems that the heads are always less developed. Like this is probably all I'm going to get. This is done, and I don't know how to make it grow any bigger. I'll probably have to harvest that as is, and people are going to want to buy it, and I don't barely have anything. So I don't know how to fix that. My hope is always just, you know, when we move to Tennessee it'll be better. I wasn't expecting huge, but I was expecting, you know, maybe a little bit bigger than this one. Like, this is nothing. Why did this not grow anymore? Why is it turning to mush? I don't know if it's the fact that we have 80, like 75-degree days. I don't know. Still really excited about these. The kalettes is what they're called. It's like a Brussels sprout, but with tiny heads of kale. So I can't get it to focus, but it's really cool looking. The Brussels sprouts aren't doing great. I think that these are hybrids is the only reason that these are doing good. Because they're more genetically modified, you know. We try to keep that out of the garden, but this is what we get, a sadder, poorer, organic crop of peonies. Carrots will be ready soon, and then I pulled out all the peppers. But I think this year, since we have so many hot peppers saved in each of these pepper plots that we had before, I'm going to do different kinds of potatoes. I have some purple potatoes, some red potatoes, golden potatoes. We'll go through that when I get them. Over here I'm going to do kale and lettuces all in here, and probably on the other side too, because that's a big one. We really like, well, I really love kale. So that's all the garden prep that I got to do today. But I'm going to have to let everyone go, and I'm going to have to get to it because I got a lot to do, and I probably only have an hour before Stephanie gets here, maybe 2 before April gets here. So don't conform, people. Be transformed. And on our next video, we'll talk about what you can be planting now, whether you're in zone 5 or zone 9. Things that love to be in January that like it cool, that you can still grow, whether it be in a windowsill, in a covered row, or in your greenhouse. See you later, guys.